Confetti Club. It is Pixie, and today we are doing a slightly overdue story time. Grab a cheeky sip, perhaps paint your nails. I did that this morning, OMG. Grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a water, hydrate yourself, my friends, and let's talk about the time I had the worst, most public, completely alone panic attack, when my plane drove around. Okay, let's get into it. So basically, back in August, I had the absolute dream opportunity of going to Otaku-thon with 6% Doki Doki and modeling and working with them and doing like just so much fun 6% party stuff for their Canada Kawaii tour. It was amazing. There's no tea with that. It was just fantastic, and like, I will forever dream about it until the end of time. However, getting home was not quite as Yume Kawaii. Let me set the scene for you. It is Sunday evening, maybe 6 p.m. and we are meeting up. It is like me, the 6% staff, Ghost Girl Goods crew, and the models, Toshi. I think that's the squad. I'm going back to Fredericton that night. I think Nyun and squad were staying a couple more days, but this was our last like everyone's together moment, and they wanted to do a dinner. So cute. And so we went to a restaurant called Saint Hubert or Saint Hubert. I don't know, life of belaying, I never know what to say. So the con's wrapping up. They've, you know, wrapped up and tidied up and packaged up the 6% stuff all in a pretty package, and we are heading off to Saint Hubert in a cute little, it was like a tiny little fashion walk because we were all still totally decked out from the day because we just walked off the con floor, and we walked a couple blocks literally just to like sit down at a Saint Hubert and eat chicken and drink beer. Anyway, good memories. And unfortunately, I had to leave to catch a bus to get to the airport, so I couldn't be there for the whole dinner, but we did sit down and have a sweet little, you know, final smooch goss, I don't know. We took a group photo, we had our final goodbyes, and I trekked with my luggage in hand and my phone with my Google Maps to find the airport. Now, this walk on its own is a little bit daunting, and I had planned everything out very precisely because we know now, and I'm so glad I can be open about this with you guys. It really, really is a blessing. I can't stress that enough. I have a personality disorder, so like with that comes really high anxiety, high dissociation, like, you know, boop boop ba doo. Sometimes travel is a little bit extra spooky for me, so I'm like still fully in like Pixie Lock's visual, you know, you can't miss me from a mile away right after the con ended. So like there's, you know, fashion weebs crawling around, which is all amazing and very good, but like, you know, I'm walking around alone, dark, I have terrible, terrible night vision. I have my suitcase, it's downtown Montreal, I don't know where I'm going, but I get my Google Maps and I end up somehow kind of finding the bus station. Anyway, I waited on the wrong side of the road for probably 15 minutes, missed that bus, asked the guy who came up, I was like, does this bus go to the airport? And he was like, no, and then drove away. Didn't tell me that I just had to cross the street and literally get on the same stop going the other way. And then that bus game, got on that one, offered him my tenner. He says only coin. I was like, but it said cash only, so I made sure I had cash. And he was like, cash means like metal coins, not bills. And I was like, really? You gotta understand, I don't like being a pain in people's ass. I really just want to be unassuming. I mean, I look like this, so I feel like I have to kind of sometimes overcompensate and be like so polite and don't want to bother anyone. But I was straight up going to miss my flight if I didn't get on the next bus to the airport because it was like a long drive. Anyway, I ended up literally not being able to take the bus. I just got off and said sorry, thank you for trying, have a good night, and called an Uber. We don't have Uber in my province or the last province I lived in. I don't know, we still live in pretty small places in Canada. I guess Montreal has Uber. What is that like, living in a world with Uber? At least we have skipped the dishes now. From then on until the next like 3 hours of my journey, things went pretty smoothly. Everything was fine. Beep, beep, beep. You know, I've gone to England on my own B words. I've gone to Japan on my own B words. I've gone several places not alone as well with my mom, which definitely, thank you, mama. I'm so lucky to have been able to travel so like in my teenage years so that I kind of have an idea in my head how airports work, because oh my god, she's complicated. But everything was fine. I was killing it, feeling good. I was so excited to be home. We're on the plane, headed home. Montreal to Fredericton is not a very long flight. We're kind of like sister provinces button up against each other. But I mean, Quebec's big. Like, they have their own party. And like I said, I have some brain stuff going on, so sometimes travel is really difficult, and I was just counting the actual minutes of this how many hour, maybe 1 hour to 2 hour flight. My brain is fuzzy. Steve, can you put the numbers, please? And I kid you not, there's no Wi-Fi on the plane, of course. It's just a little flight. There's no internet. There isn't even a screen in the back of the seat in front of you, I'm pretty sure. Or if there was, I don't think it played movies. I think it was just like, here's the map. Good luck. Have fun looking at it. And so when I'm on a plane, things I like to do to pass time, if there's like no real internet or movies or electronics, man, I literally go through my own photos and I sort. I will make a whole album of my cat photos and a whole album of like, I don't know, what do we have here? Otakuthon, PEI 2019, Japan 2019, things to paint. And things to, okay, why did I want to paint that? So like a sad little hopeless romantic Pisces, I was flipping through photos of my cats and Steve and my cats, and I'll literally put them in here because they're so precious. They're so precious. This sounds fake, but like I'm this dramatic, and I was just clinging to every minute, waiting till I could be home so I could be in my partner's arms and be home and cozy and eat cozy home food, because like I was stressed and like my eating was just all over the place, and like I was excited to have an oven again. And as we are landing, we in the sky, now we coming out the sky, we coming down to the ground. It's kitty snuggle time, is what they said. But they said that they were beginning descent to prepare to land. And this is when I was really counting the minutes, waiting. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be any minute now, we're gonna land, I'm gonna feel the wheels, like, you know, little anxiety things. My brain's just going and I just can't wait to be home. And they announce that not only are we not landing, but we have to turn the whole plane around and go to the backup airport, or what do they say, the secondary landing, whatever. And that airport is the Montreal airport. We had to fly all the way back to Montreal. And not only was it just like the length, but doubled. They had to like turn around and get back up and stuff. So it was another like chunk and a half. And my logical brain is like, okay, it's fine. We're breathing, it's okay. It reminded me of back when I was like 16, I went to the exhibition with my pals, and I was trying real hard to be cool, and I'm terrified, like, I know now that I'm not a roller coaster girl, I'm not a haunted house girl, I'm not a horror movie girl, and I'm glad that I've come to a point where I don't even, like, I don't force myself into it. I just know that like, just stop trying to be cool, Jill. But when I was 16, I was trying to be cool, and I went on the freak out, and it started raining, and I caused probably the biggest scene of all time, and I definitely was not looking cool anymore, because they said that the ride ended, and they said they had to redo the ride because it was raining or some shit. And I was like, just imagine 16-year-old tiny little Jillian screaming, "You have to let me off! I need to get off!" I think I might have said, "I will sue." Anyway, so I kind of felt like that because I was trapped on this plane, and unlike at the exhibition with the carnies where I was like, I bet I can barter, I was like, I don't think they actually have to run it again. I think he's doing a carny trick where, like, you know, we're like, ooh, it's raining, so we have to run the ride again. I don't know, maybe some, like, Maybe some amusement park techs will reply and say that that is a factual thing, that if it rains, you have to run the ride again. I don't know. I felt like I was being lied to and I was scared. They did let me off of that ride. So I don't deal with like change overly well when it comes to plans and timing and things like that. And I had the probably most severe panic attack I've had alone in public. It was definitely a moment I'll never forget because it was my third traveling alone experience, and it was the first time something like this had like kind of really majorly happened, and I didn't have anyone that I knew there. No one that not even like an acquaintance or someone that just happened to work there, not even a head of the con. Like, I was relying on the stewardess and the kind, friendly stranger to like the row diagonally right of me. The panic starts to set in. How am I going to tell a story time about a panic attack and have it be a linear story? We'll try. So they announce on the plane that we have to turn around, we're going back to Montreal, and that the added flight time is gonna be, it was like 2 hours or something, 2.5 hours. And my brain just went from thinking, I'll be able to see like my cozy, familiar homeland and loved ones in like 5 minutes to like, I don't know when. So Steve is waiting at the airport for me and I have no way to communicate to him whatsoever. I can't communicate with my mom, Steve, anyone, because there's no friggin' Wi-Fi on the plane because it will fall out of the sky and that would be a worse story. So I can't see anything. The hum of the plane is extremely loud and overwhelming. I don't have any internet or contact to anyone I know. There's no one I know around me. The seat beside me is empty. I can't control my breathing. The tears start flowing. Fun fact, no matter what emotion I'm feeling, tears will probably come. I've cried watching 3 episodes of Aikatsu Friends now. The last time was just because they give each other the same hair bow every year on Christmas, and I just thought it was like so precious, and then I was crying. So with the breathing did come some tears. But I'm being stealthy and sneaky because, again, I have anxiety and I don't want to bother people on the plane, and I don't want to be, and I don't want to cause a scene. I don't want to make it an issue. I don't want anyone to see me, this weird rainbow girl with the stretched ears, and I just came from this convention and I'm like literally still look like a 6% monster. But sweet man, diagonal to the left of me, says, he turns around and he's like, hey, are you okay? And I was like, no. And he called over the stewardess and she was really sweet. They brought me water and she made a joke about how I think she needs a triple vodka shot. I did not need a triple vodka shot. That would have made me much worse. And I got coached out of a panic attack by a French stewardess on a plane at like 1 a.m. alone, going back to Montreal. And it was really embarrassing and stressful, and that's like kind of what hashtag mental illness life is like sometimes. Just to, I don't know, I want to show you guys all sides. And like, I didn't vlog my panic attack, obviously. I calm down, I get water, things are okay. Friendly man says friendly things, and like, I love Canada, thank you friends. And on the long ass painful journey back to Montreal, we tried to get some answers. It was weird. It kind of feels like when you're on like a school bus on a field trip and the bus breaks down, and then like you start like making friends with people you never even knew. And unfortunately, they just had like no information for us. I was flying Air Canada, by the way, sorry, full transparency. Because apparently the WestJet flight that was landing at the exact same time ended up just rerouting to Moncton, which is like an hour drive away. So I learned that from Steve because Steve was watching from the ground as my plane just never showed up that night. And the reason that they didn't land was because it was so foggy, which is why I didn't mention the reason, because it was just because there was some like low-lying fog, which I totally get. Visibility, important. I'm not shading the pilots for like literally making sure we didn't die, but I don't know. All I know is that Steve said it wasn't that bad and that it cleared up within 10 minutes and that the WestJet plane just went to like the next town over instead of like literally back to our initial destination. It's fine. I'm not salty. I'm just traumatized from the experience. We end up back in Montreal. Whoop-de-doo. We're all pissed. We're all tired. It is 3 a.m. Montreal time. We've been on this plane for like a full double 360, baby. Bring it around town. I did take a photo here because I knew at this point it would be a story time video. This is what the Montreal, I think it's the Pierre-Elliott Trudeau airport maybe? This is what it looks like at 3 a.m. when like everything's closed and it literally feels like you shouldn't be there and they're like closing the airport. Did you know that airports like low-key shut down? I feel like everything in an airport should be 24 hours. I don't know. That's just my like ideal airport. I don't know. If I was president of airports, they would be magical 24-hour playgrounds. But alas, it was kind of extra spooky. I don't know. That almost made it fun because it was like 24-hour staying in an airport challenge. Except I didn't choose to and I didn't want to be there. Everyone from our plane ended up waiting in a queued line for probably another good hour, just standing and waiting to talk to the people at the desks who also didn't really know what was going on. They didn't seem to have adequate measures really put in place. I really hate to just be like, frig you, Air Canada, but like, I feel like it didn't have to be so obscure of a situation that a plane might have to reroute. Like no one knew what was going on. No one was prepared. Everyone was flustered, staff-wise, which kind of made it like a little extra anxiety-inducing because it's like, not only do I not know what's going on, no one in power seems to know what's going on. We waited an hour. Everyone was getting different news, different emails on their phone saying different things. I got an email saying that I wouldn't be able to fly out until the next morning, meaning I would need a hotel room. So that was like inevitable because it was freaking 3 a.m. And of course, there's no hotel in the airport. So of course, we had to go to this really like bizarrely placed Holiday Inn that was kind of really a far drive from the airport. Like, they put us all on individual taxis with taxi tickets and booklets, but it just said like rerouted travel. It was like interrupted flight itinerary or whatever. So we got a bunch of coupons for meals and one night in a Holiday Inn. So like we were sort of kind of, they made sure we had a bed. Thank you. It was maybe another 10-15 minute drive from the airport to this little inn they had us all crammed into. And also, the checkout time was the next morning at like 9 a.m. or something insane. I get whisked into a taxi. I get whisked to this little inn. I get whisked into my little room. I collapse in my clothes, in the bed, and just, that's all my memory of that. I was excited to be able to shower. I was like reveling. I was like, ooh, at least maybe I can like I can wash my face, man. You know, like travel grime, just, I was excited to just be able to like relax for a sec. But in fact, I conked out immediately when I got there because it was like 3:30, maybe bordering on 4 in the morning. And then I woke up to a phone call on, you know, like the friggin' telephone, like the curly wire telephone they have beside the bed saying, "Where are you? Are you checking out?" And I was like, Air Canada put me in this hotel room because they flew me back here and I'm just here and like, I need to be here and please, what? And they were like, it was only for one night. You need to either call them and add another night, or you have to like get out now. So no shower, no clothes change, no coffee, no food. Like I literally just like pretty much immediately got back up out of my room. I don't even know if I got to like pee or step foot in the bathroom. I was whisked back to the airport, back onto a plane, and I did, yes, make it home. Obviously, because I'm here now and I live to tell the tale. And that is probably the hairiest travel experience I've had traveling alone. I am so blessed and happy and amazed every day still that like I forget that I've done these things, and then I remember and I'm like, what? To be able to travel for my job is just like such a dream come true, and y'all know that. This is not a secret. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. It was definitely different. I also, I feel like I don't often just like tell stories or anecdotes. That's literally what a story time is. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too negative too, because I know like story times can be that way, because it wouldn't be interesting if I just like had a good time and it was fine. Well, that's what makes it a vlog. Story times are when things go down. This video's featured Confetti Club members are Oh Hey Tracy and Wait For Me Hell, who both are rocking the rainbow bangs. I thought this was super cute, and you guys both tagged me saying that like it was Pixie inspired, so like OMG, bang crew. I don't know, I just wanted to give a quickie shout out because not everyone is a digital artist and not everyone has like money or has purchased my merch while my merch store was open. So like, hey, hair crew, thank you very much for your sexy locks. Oh. I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you in the next video, which is not this one because this one is over. Bye!